Alright, we're back in the exciting, never-ending world of DayZ. It's been a while, and they've got a new update out that I thought was coming out, but it was actually it came out. So yeah, I'm not on top of things, it would appear. Got our character here. Need to get a cooler-looking suit to go and just basically kill people. Hopefully, I remember the control scheme, because it has actually been a little bit of a break from this, which has been refreshing as I work on 4 billion other games. Capri pants. I don't think they really go with the jacket too well. And we are a murderous psychopath now. Men's suit jacket. Nope, not what we're looking for. Suit pants, yes. Suit jacket, no. So for the update, they added in a changing language system in the system settings, which changes the in-game language too. So I guess before, the game language only changed the menu language. And yeah, so that's a new feature added. Really cutting edge. I'm glad they're focusing on that kind of thing. They also tweaked, they've remapped zoom to the LB button. So that's cool. I always said that a long time ago, that it should have been LB, because it was kind of weird to have like a zoom in on RB. I don't know, I thought that was strange. It doesn't really make any sense, especially for like a shooter type game, or you know, a combative title like this. Holy shit, those trees are moving. Doesn't feel like there's any wind. It's just shitty clouds. Okay, so they fixed the title does not transition user when they're in an online multiplayer game and accepting an invite while in suspended gameplay. Just sounds like a clusterfuck. They basically fixed a bunch of freezes and stuff. Now we're gonna have a list of things that they're looking at fixing too. They fixed game freeze when the player tries to move logs in a fence base. That's nice. Ooh, Dennis Short's already got some on. Very popular style in whatever this Russian kind of country is. And they fixed the character cannot rearm a gun while taking a sip. Information is on the screen. So I guess if sip is on the screen, it would crash if a character was trying to rearm a gun. That's a very oddly specific crash to have happen. They also fixed the landmine, because I know people were getting really mad at that. It's no longer a 60-meter explosion that slaughters everyone. It's now 5 meters. So it's a bit of an improvement, to say the least. So no more of those guys going, these fucking landmines are killing everyone. Now they only kill, I don't know, 3 or 4 people that are in the way. That's an innovation. They fixed the player is unable to interact with items/bodies after dropping it in tree. Whatever the hell that means. I guess if it's in a tree, they weren't able to interact, or they mean like a skill tree. Keep in mind that for these update notes, they don't really tell us everything that's available, and they aren't very specific, and some stuff doesn't make any sense, so you just go with it. They fixed the image freezes after constraining the title and removing the controller. They fixed the video freeze after suspend or constrain application. When entering the hardcore servers, players are spawning in the third person. Well, the whole point of a hardcore server is so you spawn in first person, so I'm glad they fixed the bug that allowed you to spawn in third person, because that kind of defeats the purpose of that. And they fixed game freeze when placing a fence. So I guess that's kind of cool. Should we go down the beach this time, or we'll just do the tracks? So these are the known issues. I guess some of them are shared between PC to Xbox or something like that. Whatever. You know the state of things if you've been following the videos. They work on PC and then they move over to Xbox as far as like content goes and fixes. And then you get little bugs and hiccups along the way, but yeah, for the most part it works. Okay, so server crashes can cause undesirable persistence wipes. There are various issues with cars, often related to physics, simulation, desync, cars shooting up in the air or diving underground. That would be just wild. Fixing the game performance FPS, as it may drop significantly, which we have seen across various cities, especially the heavily populated ones and the more popular servers. So it's good that that is something they're looking at, because I know a lot of people have been complaining about it, and I've been saying yes, they are looking at it. And I don't know, we'll see what they do. I mean, remember, the game used to run well until they added a ton of stuff in, so we'll have to see if they're able to find a better balance. They're looking at fixing duplication, so basically duping, where you're doing a quit out kind of thing. Thank you to the people that mentioned that to me. I haven't exactly done it yet because I haven't had time, but I do appreciate people letting me know how to do certain things, because I do like to be expansive with the sort of guides I put together with this one. Spamming B when disconnecting can freeze the game. That's something they're looking at fixing. It is currently not possible to customize your fresh spawn character in the menu. So yes, that's something I want to talk about in a separate thing, but because they've included here, I'll go into it. They've basically mentioned that they are looking at having a full sort of character customization, clothes, hair, face kind of design, based on the existing models, but you can really make your own survivor when you're going to spawn into the game. So that will be, I guess, a nice touch. I've gotten used to creating random stories for the characters, so I'm not sure what I'm going to exactly do in that situation, but I'm sure I'll come up with something. Maybe I'll just customize them, or maybe there'll be a randomizer. I hope there's a randomizer. That would help a lot, actually. Then we get some more weird luck of the draw kind of things, and get some funky looking people. And there will, of course, be a whole video on me just trying it out. Do I not have space for this? Well, I've got not a cola, and I've got to take a drink. They're looking at fixing the fact that the leaning feature has no assigned controls. I know some people were mentioning that some people were like, I'm not even going to touch the game because it doesn't have leaning. I didn't realize it was such an essential feature for people, but yeah, it's in the game functionally, but it's not actually available in the game functionally. So there's that. I mean, if they allowed us to remap things, it would be easily available. The hold breath feature has no assigned controls, so same situation there. Holding your breath is something that's present. They haven't added it in. I mean, why can't you just do something like COD, I guess, where you get the hold down on the stick to kind of do that, but whatever, they do them. Some wearable items can obstruct aiming. That's true, I've seen that in the past. Their loading times for filled inventories are way too long. Yes, that is a huge problem. Significant loading issues when you are actually going into a very full inventory, which could cause death if you're trying to make a quick swap and there's zombies nearby, or if you're in the heat of battle trying to find ammo or supplies quickly. That will effectively end your life, basically. It looks like they've completely taken away the option to pick things up, like the prompt to pick things up, if you can't actually pick things up, if that makes sense. Because my inventory is full with tuna, so we can't take any more. What is with these trees? They are just banging back and forth today. Was I going to hang around in that town and kill people? I don't know what I was going to do. I just kind of went along the beach. Sort of a lovely nature walk, to be honest. And they've also got options menu items named configure when connected to server. Should be options too. How is that hard to fix? It's changing the fucking text titling. His name why is that on a list of things that they're hoping to fix in the future? Just gotta change the wording. Are you kidding me? I'm pretty sure the menus are like basic CSS HTML. Oh god, that's funny. Zooming is working with LB now, but the control schema is still showing RB instead. Again, swap out an image takes 2 seconds. Some players may experience bleeding after connecting to a server. That was fun. Remember the one where I spawned in and it was just like gaping holes and there was just blood pouring out of me like I had new holes. I think that's due to them, and this is a guess on my part, I don't know how scientific this is. I believe it's them adding in new dynamic ways from which you can sort of get hit, if that makes sense. Oh, we can actually mine stone. That's something we can do today. Kind of go over other things while we walk around this open field. Just a couple more to get through. No health system icons in the tutorial, so that's an easy fix again. They're also looking at chat options missing, tooltips in the main menu. Shouldn't be too bad for them to do. Some text are still appearing in English after changing the language settings. Annoying, I imagine. And check languages not supported. I don't care. VoIP mute does not mute other players. And the Kuzzer optic day-night mode is inverted. Great. Stitching wound with the sewing kit does not stop the bleeding. So that's something you need to fix, because I know that is a good method for healing yourself. And previously played servers are not shown after the restart. So those are all the fixes they're hoping to do. And yeah, just a long list of things that they're looking at fixing. Pretty cool, pretty action-packed. We're gonna now go into mining, so you can actually collect. No, I don't want to collect worms. So you go up to a mine with a pickaxe, and then you're actually able to kind of mine. Isn't this thrilling? And then we can get rocks. Did that give us the rocks? Cool, there's rocks on the ground. So we got rocks. We got 2 large stones. And you kind of split the pickaxe. We're going to take, I guess we should split these 2 hands. A large stone, that's interesting. Yeah. Huh, I've actually never seen large stones in this. I guess you can just like really sort of club somebody with it. Ugh. Like, that's really not something you come across, is it? Like a large stone. That's interesting. Alright, well, we might as well try splitting, even though... Well, we'll see what it does. We're here to test things for science. Cool, so we got our pickaxe, and now we have 2 small stones. So that's exciting. And then we can combine our 2 small stones to make 1 stone. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, anyways. So if you get your small stone and you have another small stone, and you're not splitting or combining them, you can actually go over it and you can craft a stone knife out of it, which is kind of pointless now that you spawn with a stone knife, but it's still something to learn, I guess, in case they add that as something that you don't spawn with in the future. So you can make a little stone knife. Pretty cool, eh? So that's the mechanics of the magical pickaxe, and it's kind of just on these stone segments. It's a very minimal thing to come across, because you know you got the small rocks, and like actually have to have a pickaxe, which are like incredibly rare. But you know, it's possible. Again, I don't get the whole cleaning your hands with soda pop thing. That really doesn't make any sense to me. So we're gonna go try to kill some people, I guess, with our knife. But I've got a pickaxe, and I've always wanted to be like a pickaxe murderer. So we're gonna play that in here. She likes sharp objects. She kills with them. No big deal. Ain't nothing. Ain't no thing. Gonna run it along here. I don't know, kind of an interesting mechanic. I think the whole breaking the rocks thing up. Maybe I should take rocks and drop them. Well, it's kind of pointless, isn't it? To do that kind of thing, because people spawn with the rocks. So it sort of defeats the mechanic's purpose of, you know, being able to actually break rocks and create a... Why would you do that anyways? Because you have a pickaxe, which is more deadly than, you know, making like a stone, like a little stone knife. That kind of seems pointless to me. You know, I don't quite get the purpose behind that. That's a really weird effect. And I noticed performance seems to dip quite a bit during like rockier forest areas. I don't know if I'm crazy there, but yeah, that's how it goes. There's a bit of a hill here. I don't remember there being a hill here. I was kind of going back to the tracks, but I feel like I've maybe gotten a little off pace on this one, which is weird. I guess we can also go over the PC experimental a bit, just to get an idea of what they're... Oh yeah, I forgot, this is where the ship is. I don't want to go to the ship again, it's boring going there. So they're adding like a bunch of new weapons and scopes and bullets and track IR, antibiotics for diseases and vitamins for immunity, and bleeding from bare feet. Damn. So no more of that stealth walking on your toes, guys. What else they got that's neat? And keep in mind, these are like literally things you're gonna eventually end up having, so they are directly applicable. New stream from Kozalaka to Balata. Overtime self-closing of bleeding wounds. Oh, that makes sense, and a weird thing to focus on. It's mainly a couple guns, CR527, SK59/66. Bullet shells dropping and adding sounds to it. That's an interesting extra dynamic for hunting, as far as being able to hear the sounds and stuff like that. Let's see, a long torch, so you can make that out of a long stick and rags. That would be nice. Sounds for drop item action. Sound position off feet. EQ filter for unconscious state. New audio controller for positional sounds. Admin log expansion. That's kind of more just PC side, I think. Printing future data incompatibilities. Any script for that. And tweaks for certain damage and projectiles and sound in the game. The hen spawn zone reworked. Cool. And they've got known issues too. Apparently in that build the undead are going to be more bullet resistant than usual. That sounds lovely. But that's kind of, I guess, a little bit of a tease on top of the existing update that's in the works. And I mean, so basically what happens, in case you are newer and you haven't heard the explanation behind this, is they have the PC build, and then they take the PC build and they essentially use that as this, because it's the same game, quote unquote, same engine and everything like that. So they test everything out on PC when it's working good, when it's how they like it. They convert it over to the Xbox side of things, and that's kind of the build they deliver, and then they polish the Xbox version, and then that's the cycle they continue. And it should be interesting to see how that works with the PlayStation side of things. The console development's quite easy these days, or at least way easier than it used to be, because you can flashlight deploy builds so much easier, and the structuring is very similar to the PC side of things, architecture-wise. So they are able to deliver this, and like I was mentioning, it should be interesting to see how the PlayStation Edition affects the streamlining of updates post-launch. Because you got to remember that the PC version is quote-unquote released on early access for first time in, half a decade probably at least. Like it's actually 1.0, which we're not on 1.0, which is weird because we have the same sort of features, if that makes sense. I mean, we don't have the exact same because we're a little bit behind, but you get what I mean in context of we're basically the same thing. We're just like a build or so behind. But I think we are on the build, or at least past it, from which they had actually launched the game. So, interesting thing to think about. At least, I don't know. I think so. And we do have some neat things planned to kind of go over, to kind of get into a situation where we're running into somebody. Oh yeah, I was always wondering if you ever got a map for the layout of the trails. Somebody did mention that quite a while ago. I don't know if you noticed, but there's trails running all through the world, and they have different coloring and stuff. So I'm just curious, maybe the layout, because I know there's an old map that I found through my research that kind of gave an idea of the old trails, but they've like remapped things and redone stuff, so it was quite outdated and not really worth using as a reference point. Lots of littler rocks. Let's see what these can do. So you can't really interact with them. Seems like you have to have like a right type of rock. Is this one like magically floating? I feel like it's off the ground. It is. Like magic. I feel like there should be giant waves that occasionally come. It'd be pretty funny if they had like a boating thing. Like, I mean, you should be able to flip the boats up and take them to the water if you have like a help or something. I mean, you shouldn't be able to boat forever, but you should be able to at least use it as like a faster method of transportation. I think that'd be a nice touch. So anyways, we're in a good spot for next time. I think we're gonna prowl around this area a little bit and see what people we come across in this area, because yeah, this is a nice little spot for perhaps some adventures or maybe something a little bit more exciting. But that's the update for now. Lots of new stuff.